Hey guys, welcome to Late Night Theology. The irreverent Reverend Logan Dixon here. And Tom is not with me this week. Tom is spending Christmas with his family in Hawaii. He left me all alone to die in godforsaken Arkansas. But no, I will not hold ill will against my co-host.
I will.
Oh, you will?
I really would like to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, I would too. That, my friends, is my very best friend and our guest for this episode of Late Night Theology, Philip Willis. Philip is a worship leader, and he's been a friend of mine for years. So, Philip, say hi to the people.
Good morning, the people.
Good morning, the people. So, tell us about all of this worship leader stuff. Like, how did you get started?
Well, it was a sunny day, I like to imagine, at Moreland, Arkansas, at an old church that was Encouraging Word Ministries. And my irreverent Reverend Logan and I had been attending this church for a little while.
Yeah.
And
that was my first youth pastor.
It was his first youth pastorate. And this dear saint, Cheryl Feltner, threw me into this position because she said, "Oh, you can sing. Why don't you do this instead of me?" And that's essentially how it went. And then I learned to play guitar.
And who taught you to play guitar?
There was this dear saint called Logan's grandma.
Called Logan. So my grandma doesn't have a name. Well, my grandma's name is
Miss
Logan's.
Mary, yeah.
Yes. My grandma's name is Logan's grandma.
Yes, it is now.
Okay.
It wasn't, but
right, it is now.
I just called her grandma this entire time. I mean, it's about right.
So she taught you the basic chords and stuff, and
she taught me one song exactly. Amazing Grace.
Okay, she taught you Amazing Grace.
In D. And then she gave me a book to borrow. And it was completely useless.
Really?
Yes, because I didn't have the accompanying CD.
Oh.
Except for the chord directory in the back.
I'm not even sure that she had the accompanying CD. I think she got it at a yard sale.
I don't think she did.
Mm-hmm.
But the chord directory in the back is how I taught myself to play guitar.
Cool.
Because I would find a song and the chords, and I'd say, "I wonder how to play this chord." "Oh, that's how you play that chord." "I wonder how to play the next chord." "Oh, that's how you do it."
And did you do the whole millennial thing and learn stuff off YouTube?
I did.
Yeah.
I did actually. In fact, if you're looking to learn guitar, I recommend justinguitar.com. It is an entirely free website. And he goes from how to hold the guitar all the way up to expert videos. He is great. It's entirely free. If you have money, buy something from his sponsors. That's all he asks.
Yeah.
I don't ever have money.
Yeah, I understand that.
And I also learned a lot of my bad habits before I found that website.
So, what are you doing now?
At this exact moment, or in general? So, I'm the...
However you want to answer that.
So, I am the worship leader for the youth at my current church, Fernwood Assembly of God in Hartman, Arkansas. And if any of you are wondering where that is, don't bother. You'll miss it. Just go to Coal Hill.
Way to promote your church there.
We're an excellent church, but you'll never find it unless you want to give detailed directions.
Gotcha.
It's one of those churches where is Hartman? I don't know where this is. Oh, look, Coal Hill.
Right.
We can go to Chag.
Chag.
Coal Hill Assembly of God.
Gotcha.
They plaster it all over their buses.
Ah.
And so I do that.
I imagine when someone is drinking a Coke or something at Coal Hill, they're like, Chag, 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 Chag. No?
There was actually an old cartoon called Chaos. And the logo for Chaos and is looks very similar to this. So whenever I see that logo, I think of that really old cartoon, and I don't know why. Probably because they look so similar.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what are your plans for your musical endeavors? You gonna record anything? You gonna
Possibly.
Okay. Well, you got the stuff to do. You got a recording studio.
I do. I almost loaned it to you.
Yeah, we almost didn't need that for the podcast. I might still need that because I might edit this part out in case he's listening. But I may have lost the microphone that we've been using. That's a strong possibility. I'm 99.99% sure I know where it is, but I haven't been able to look there yet. I'm confident that it's at Tom's house.
Or in Hawaii.
Or in Hawaii, if he took it with him. I don't know if he took it with him or not. I don't really see a reason why he would have taken it with him. You want to write music?
I would love, absolutely adore to be able to write music. But there's a problem.
Yeah.
I suck at it. I absolutely suck at it.
So, weren't you trying to write a song or two a while back?
Hey, Logan.
Yeah.
I don't think that particular attempt ever needs to see the light of day.
All artists think that about their work.
Yeah, and most of them are right. That's why there's relatively few out there.
That's kind of how I feel about some of my blog posts and books in the early days. I've actually went back and taken a lot of my older blog posts down because I was like, this is crap. No one needs to see this.
I actually once had a video up on YouTube of me singing a song.
Oh, yeah?
It sucked.
So you took it down?
Almost immediately.
I've done that. So, while we're in this topic of worship leader stuff, let's talk about some of your favorite worship songs.
Oh, fun. So I'm a weird person, apparently.
Okay, how so?
I very much enjoy hymns.
Well, yeah, I don't
when done
think that's
correctly.
Weird. Yeah, well, yeah.
Because I am Pentecostal, and I attend a Pentecostal church. And the wrong Pentecostal church can sing hymns, and I would prefer to not be there when they do. And the right church can sing hymns, and it's very nice.
Well, see, my criticism of a lot of Pentecostal churches is that they don't sing the good hymns. And by good hymns, I mean those that were written way back before we had this Heavenly Highway hymnal bullcrap, like A Mighty Fortress is Our God.
I will disagree with you, and my difference of opinion, my big hang up on the hymns is the spirit in which they are sung.
Well, yeah.
Because when you go to a church and they say, all right, we're going to turn to page 300 and sing We Shall See the King, and there's no spirit in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, I'm Pentecostal, but I'm not even talking about the, we're going to get up and run around kind of spirit. It doesn't impress me.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there and all you want is to get to the end of the song so the pastor can get up and get done so you can go home and go to lunch and bug the people at McDonald's, you are not worshiping with the correct spirit. In fact, I dare say that you're not worshiping at all.
Well, I feel obligated to bring this up because Tom's not here. Otherwise, I know he would. But whenever me and Tom go to Beer and Hymns and they hand out the Methodist hymn books, there is a page in the front of every Methodist hymnal written by John Wesley where he actually gave instructions on how to sing hymns. Mm-hmm. And I can't quote it verbatim like he can, like Tom can quote that entire page verbatim. But basically John Wesley says, don't sing this like a dead man. Actually sing like you're alive, because you are. And if there were in Wesley, that was one of Wesley's pet peeves too. Mm-hmm. And especially, I imagine his brother Charles too, because Charles is the one that basically wrote a lot of the early Methodist hymns. People used to say that John Wesley was the star of the Methodist movement and Charles Wesley was the soundtrack. But that's their thing too. They really like boisterous singing whenever they sing a hymn. And one of my favorite albums is from Sovereign Grace Music. As a matter of fact, there's 3 albums now. Live at Together for the Gospel, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Whenever you listen to their music and you hear the hymns they sing, you think, oh, that's a really good choir. But actually, it's not a choir. It's just Bob Coughlin leading the songs on piano, and what you hear.
Hearing his voice digitally?
No.
Really?
No. This is that's not his voice. I mean, it is his voice. He's the main voice. But what you hear is actually the audience singing. That's not a choir. What they do is they just hand out a sheet that has the words on it when you walk into the conference. It's him on stage on piano. They start recording and people sing along to it, and they sound really good.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Have you heard any of that stuff?
I have, as we were doing our show prep, I actually did search Sovereign Grace, and I heard a little bit of what they do, and I don't mind it at all. I quite like Sovereign Grace, and have thought about incorporating one of their songs into my service.
Well, whenever I was working on a musical project here for the church where I'm about to resign from now, I was working on a worship folder where we would have different worship songs, and a lot of the songs I picked came from Sovereign Grace. Matter of fact, one of the songs I sing all the time is a special, "All I Have Is Christ." That came from Jordan Coughlin. I believe Jordan, he's related to Bob in some way, shape, or form, maybe his son or something. But I really like a lot of their stuff. It's very biblical. As a matter of fact, they have an entire album. Sovereign Grace has an entire album of songs that have been written based off the book of Romans. Really good stuff. So while we're on the topic of good worship songs, there's also the flip side.
Oh,
Bad worship songs.
bad worship songs.
Bad worship songs that should never be sung. And I know some of you who are from the Jesus movement are going to hate me for saying this, but I really hate Awesome God. The chorus of Awesome God is not bad.
Oh, when he rolls up his sleeves, the angels button on the ritz.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate the verses.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that song was actually written by one of the singers in the Gaither band.
You are mistaken.
I don't think so.
I'm going to Google this.
I could be wrong. I know that Mary Did You Know was written by that guy that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Mary Did You Know? Oh, while we're on that topic, I don't like Mary Did You Know. Because, you know what? Mary knew.
Of course she did. It was in the Bible.
Mary Did You Know? Yeah, she did. Now shut up about it.
It's like, I'm pretty sure. I'm just not thinking about it over this football.
Rich Mullins wrote Awesome God. He is not a Gaither singer.
Okay, fine. First time I've ever been wrong.
Right.
On audio. It's the first record of it.
Rich Mullins wrote Awesome God. He wrote a lot of cool worship songs, and he has a great testimony. He read the Ragamuffin Gospel by I wish I hadn't brought it up now because I can't think of the author's name.
By that one guy?
Yeah, by that one guy. Yeah. He read the Ragamuffin Gospel, and after he read it, he decided to give his life over to Christ.
You know what song I hate as far as a worship song goes?
What?
And the reason I hate this song, I know you hate this song as well. The reason I hate this song is completely different from your reasons, right?
Okay.
I hate How He Loves Us as a worship song.
Really?
I do. And I know the reasons you hate this song, but I don't like this song because it's so stinking hard to play and sing.
Okay. That's reasonable.
Because every time I've ever had to do this song, it had to be the last one I did because I was done.
Yeah.
Because they say, sing another one. And I said, I can't.
So, it's not that I don't like How He Loves. I like it. Mm-hmm. I just hate it whenever singers and worship leaders sing Sloppy Wet Kiss instead of Unforeseen Kiss. Yeah, I know. It's like the whole Jesus is my girlfriend thing.
I'm sorry, the only Sloppy Wet Kiss I like is when Jake, my puppy, comes up and tackles me and begins to lick my face.
I'm going to edit the part out where you said it was her puppy.
Why?
Because it'll sound like Jake's a dude. You don't seem amused by that.
So the only Sloppy Wet Kiss I like is when my dog...
Right, okay, I won't edit it out. I won't edit it out. But whenever worship leaders sing Sloppy Wet Kiss, I just get this image of God licking earth.
Lick a tongue. That's a whole nother podcast right there.
That's a Pokemon thing, yeah.
Is Pokemon demonic?
Is Pokemon demonic? No,
there's a
get out
topic
of here.
For you.
Right.
You remember, this is a little off topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
You remember when Pokemon Go came out and the Westboro Baptist Church became a gym and they took
What?
over... Yeah, so Pokemon Go came out and the Westboro Baptist Church became a Pokemon gym.
I didn't hear about this.
And somebody took over that gym and made it a fairy gym.
Oh my God, I almost spit out my Mountain Dew. That's fantastic. That is awesome.
Right, so bad worship songs.
Right. Bad worship songs.
Bad worship songs.
It's not really a worship song, it's a hymn. And I say hymn in quotation marks because I don't consider it a
As
hymn.
opposed to her?
Right. Gotta be social justicey now. But no, I put hymn in quotation marks because I don't think, I wouldn't consider this a real hymn just because it's in a hymn book. Good old gospel ship.
Well, I'm gonna take a trip. Man, a good old gospel ship.
Yeah.
Oh, I have many memories of this song.
I do too. And I like to sing it as a ditty around the house, or if I'm bored on the piano, I'll start pecking it out.
Or if you're sailing.
Or if I'm sailing, yes. But as far as singing it at church goes, I will punch a blind kitten in the face if I have to sing this in worship one more time.
I see. That's quite graphic.
Yes, it is.
Poor kitten. What did that kitten ever do to you?
It's a scapegoat. It's a scape kitten.
I see.
I just really hate good old gospel shit.
Oh,
it's unbiblical. It's escapism theology.
Yeah, it is. You remember the song "This Train"? I think we were in choir with me that year. This train is bound for glory. This train.
Okay, so I never sang that in choir, but we used to sing it at Falling Water.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. And okay, have you seen the cover photo I have on my Facebook profile?
Yeah.
The steampunk train?
Yeah.
I thought about editing that and putting the text to "This train" on there.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I make it like steampunk Southern Gothic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when people try to get cute with songs, like this never happens during a worship service. Thank God. I once heard a person sing as he was leaving church, nothing can hold me here, I'm going home. That was me, by the way, I did that.
Okay. While we're here and we have the microphone on, you have to tell the story of the kids singing "He Touched Me."
I don't want to.
You have to.
I don't want to.
This is epic.
So we were at camp one year. And for those of you who don't know what camp is, it's where a whole bunch of people go to the Mountain Valley Retreat Center that is owned by the AG and play games and have church service for a week.
Yeah.
And in this camp, they have dorm rooms. And also in this camp, they have bathrooms with showers. And you are required to take one daily.
Uh-huh.
And I believe that this is a holy commandment. Because boys stink.
Yes, we do.
And I remember that somebody was singing that song in the shower.
They were singing "He Touched Me."
He touched me. Whoa, he touched me. And then after this point, somebody changed the words. And I'm not going to repeat the words.
Oh no, you should repeat the words.
I am not going to repeat the words, Logan, because there shall never be an audio record of these words ever coming out of my mouth.
We had a Christmas and curse words episode. It's okay.
Yes, but I wasn't involved in that one.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how funny was it?
How funny was it? The song itself was about a 3.
Oh.
The counselor's reactions was a 10.
What they do?
Well, first of all, singing in the showers was banned. Specifically that song. And the person who was singing it was never heard from again. Namely because the counselor somehow preserved his anonymity. I guess nobody really wanted to look out and see a naked man walking around. Because I'm pretty sure that he got pulled out there. And got a stern talking to.
So the counselor was the one singing in the shower?
No. No. I don't know who it was, but it was not a counselor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's great.
It was awful.
I do sing that in the shower now occasionally.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right. But have you read the 10 Things I Wish Worship Leaders Would Stop Saying article?
I have read it a lot.
Guys, we have
excellent.
We have the link to this article. We have the link to this article in the links, and it is written by Jared C. Wilson, whom I greatly admire. And if you haven't read this article, you need to read this article. It's fantastic. Basically, he covers a lot of the stupid things that we hear come out of the mouths of worship leaders all over church. And then here's the thing. A lot of people got butthurt about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to go back and write 10 things I appreciate about my worship leader.
Now, I would like to say that as you read this, I do none of them.
Yeah.
I actually do none of them.
And
this is not me saying that because people are around to listen. I actually don't do these.
I know.
I hate these.
And I bet you smiled so big when you read this list.
So big.
Well, what's a couple of them? That really drive you crazy?
Y'all can do better than that.
Oh yeah, whenever people are clapping or something.
Is everybody having fun tonight? Shut up! It's not a rock concert. You're not Bon Jovi. Unless you're Bon Jovi. And then shut up, it's still not a rock concert.
I think one of my pet peeves is let's invite the presence of the Lord in here.
Lord, we know this is your house, but why don't you come on in? Because it's your house.
Yeah, like Philip, how would you feel if you had a house, right? Mm-hmm. And I came to visit you. Mm-hmm. And I came to visit you, and then I sat down on your couch and said, "Philip, would you like to come in your house?"
Well, Logan, this is something that you would actually do to me.
Well, yes, but how would you react?
How would I react? I would probably grab my shotgun.
Okay, I'm not sure if God would react the same way.
God wouldn't, but, I'm not Jesus, so...
Yeah, well... But for us to be arrogant enough to think that...
It is quite arrogant and presumptuous and pretentious, and I might kick you out if it wasn't you.
Well, here's the thing. If I were to pastor my own church, and I ever heard my worship leader say that, I would fire him.
Or at least give him a stern talking.
At least give him a stern talking to.
Or a hint for the first time.
Offense. No. First time offense, more than a hint.
Well, Logan, when you hint, you do it very bluntly. Like, hey, don't do that again. Hint, hint.
Yeah. I'm not very conspicuous.
Inconspicuous?
Yeah, I'm not very inconspicuous. That's what I meant.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. I get those two words mixed up.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't hint well. That's what I mean. So some albums I want to suggest are Live. I already mentioned Live It Together for the Gospel, volumes 1, 2, and 3 by Sovereign Grace. Another album by Sovereign Grace is Sooner Count the Stars. Mm-hmm. Did you listen to anything from that album?
I did not.
Okay.
I pulled it up on YouTube, and there were a couple songs just...
Yeah. Look up the song Sooner Count the Stars on the album. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorites. It's great. My pet peeve, and maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, but I feel like I have to now. My pet peeve about Awesome God. I never did flesh that out. Mm-mm. And you sung the chorus.
Yeah.
Or the verse I don't like when he's putting on the Ritz. Mm-hmm. That reminds me of the Putin on the Ritz meme.
When you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Putin on the Ritz.
Putin on the Ritz.
If you don't know the Putin on the Ritz meme, I have included it in the links.
It's a picture of Vladimir Putin without a shirt on, riding a horse, except the horse has been photoshopped out, and a Ritz cracker has been placed underneath him.
Yes. It's kind of humorous. I would like to have that on a poster.
Yeah.
So, Philip, do you have anything else to add to the subject of worship leading? Like, how do you go about picking your songs for a worship set?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
You see, there's actually multiple ways to do this.
Okay.
One way is somebody sits down and they get on their knees. Mm-hmm. And they clasp their hands together and they say, "Dear God, give me songs." And then the Lord does, and that's great. And some people are more disorganized, and they get up, and it's 5 minutes before the worship service, and said, "Hey God, I need something to sing." And I'm going to ask you, Logan, which way is correct? Don't answer. Both of them are correct. Because when I get on my knees and I put my hands together and say, "Lord, give me songs," I look at my songs and I say, "I have no idea what I'm going to sing tonight." I put together a list and I get a general idea of where I'm going no matter what. But I reserve the right to change them.
On the spot.
On the spot, without warning, as the Spirit wills.
Yeah. Well, see, that's a thing in Pentecostal churches.
It really is.
Because the Spirit, according to Pentecostals, The Holy Spirit can't move through organization.
It can,
but
we don't like it to.
Right. That's what I thought. So speaking of that, there's two worship, while we're on this topic, there's two main worship styles of all evangelical churches. Mm-hmm. There's more liturgical churches, and then there's less liturgical churches. Now, if you look up the word liturgy itself just means service to the Lord. So every church has liturgy. Every church. Mm-hmm. Some liturgy is more structured than others. Every evangelical church has your basic liturgy. Songs, preaching of the word, another song, that's it. And some churches will do communion every week.
That is another one of my pet peeves.
What?
Let me explain. We should have done this earlier as well. One of my biggest pet peeves when you're talking about order of service is sing a song, take up offering.
Okay.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
There was a church that you and I used to go to. You didn't go there at the time. Encouraging Word Ministries.
Yeah.
And a certain associate pastor, when I brought this up, once said, yes, but people give more when you do a song before the offering. Okay. You're not an extortionist. Stop it. That's what tithes are for.
Right.
So many churches will do this simply for the sole fact of getting their fingers into people's pockets.
Yeah,
like that annoys the crap out of me.
I did something here a while back I think would have annoyed the crap out of you.
You do lots of things that annoy the crap out of me.
Right. Well, we started this thing of taking up an offering in youth service. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I said, everyone, let's stand as we pray over the offering, also so you can reach your wallets. They didn't seem to think that was funny.
Well, of course they didn't, Logan.
I did that. But what churches normally do, or at least some of the churches I go to do, they don't even take up offering during the service. They just have a donation box, and people actually tithe.
And a lot of more liturgical churches, it's completely different because of the more somber spirit that you're used to getting in many churches like that. And it's not the same. The worship spirit doesn't seem to end at the end of the song, even when somebody gets up and begins to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that when you do it in the correct spirit, in the correct way. It's perfectly fine. I have yet to go to a Pentecostal church that does it like that.
Yeah.
Because Mr., I'm going to call him Jimothy.
Jimothy.
You know who I'm talking about, but I'm changing his name for the protection of this particular human being. But Jimothy would get up and he would say, we're calling this, to order, not in those words. Hey, Philip, you got a special? No. Well, I'll do a song anyway. And it's during service. I can't really start an argument there. That would be out of line. So you grit your teeth and do it, even though he knows that you don't like it.
Yeah.
Mr. Jimothy.
Jimothy. I love how you made it that name.
Yeah.
One of my things is people always assume that you can have, they always assume you can't have a free moving of the Holy Spirit and a high view of liturgy.
Oh, of course you can.
You can, but it's very rare.
It's very rare.
But I will give you an example of a rare instance where I heard of it occurring. Mm-hmm. I say heard of it because I wasn't there. My friend Brandon is attending AGTS, Assembly of God Theological Seminary. Mm-hmm. And he's not attending. Well, he isn't. He is attending an AG church now, but for a while he was attending there, he was attending an Anglican church. Mm-hmm. And Anglicans are very high liturgy.
Oh, diet Catholic.
Well, I wouldn't call it, but they're not doctrinally.
Right.
Oh, they can't stand Catholics.
I know.
But
so as far as the order of service.
Oh yeah, as far as the order of service goes, they're diet Catholics. But at the beginning of the service, they were playing the prelude, and then where the kids would walk down with the big lighters to light the candles. It represented the Holy Spirit coming into the service. Mm-hmm. And on this particular Sunday, the Holy Spirit definitely came into the service.
Yeah.
As the kids were walking down to light the candles, the procession at the beginning of the service was interrupted with someone standing up and giving a message in tongues. Mm-hmm. Someone else gave an interpretation, and people started flooding at the kneeling rail, and the not the title's not bishop. What is it? Rector. The rector got up and he goes, "I'm not going to stop this. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah.
We take as long as y'all want. We're going to worship him." They did too.
What I would like to be in, I would like to be in a service sort of like that where they do that, but as the people are walking down the aisle, instead of playing the prelude, I want to hear the Imperial March.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Philip, let me tell you something. I have gone my entire life, almost my entire life up to this point, without watching a single Star Wars movie. I know. Guys, you cannot hear the reaction on his face. It's one of utter confusion and almost like I've kicked a puppy or something. Yeah. But
How?
well, I'm not a sci-fi guy.
But Star Wars.
I know, it's a cultural phenomena.
But how?
I know.
Like, you didn't accidentally walk into the room when somebody was watching it or something?
I tried not to.
But like, I mean, like, nobody, like, kidnapped you while you were trying to sleep and then tied you to a chair and held your eyes open as they played episode 4?
Basically,
The one where Luke loses his hand
Yeah, I
and
know.
Vader's like, "Luke, I am your father." And Luke is like, "No!"
Yes, I
And then
know.
he falls off the satellite and doesn't die somehow?
Yeah, well, back in
Like, you haven't even seen The Force Awakens? That's one of the new ones.
Yeah, no.
It's alright, it wasn't that good.
Back in 2012, my girlfriend at the time made me watch episode 4, and it was okay. I enjoyed it. But here recently, Tom made me watch episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And it made me appreciate 4 more.
Yeah.
So now whenever people make Star Wars jokes, I get them. And I fully intend on seeing the rest of the movies in Rogue One. So I actually enjoy Star Wars now. So it's not like I've gone my entire life without this cultural phenomena, and now I feel saved, Philip.
Well, that's good.
I feel like I'm born again.
Feel like you're born again.
Right.
I hate that song too.
And I really like Padme.
Of course you do.
Yeah, Padme's hot.
Yeah.
So
She's taken, Logan.
yeah.
Vader will choke you.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
she died right after childbirth.
Eventually.
Yeah, but
Well, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
you know, I don't think Padme should have ended up with him though. I think she should have. You know who I think she should have ended up with?
Who dat?
Me.
Oh, yeah?
But
That would kind of be trading down, don't you think?
well,
I mean, you know, Sith Lord of the Galaxy or Logan.
you do have a point.
I mean, if it was me, I would choose the Sith Lord.
Well, yeah.
Because you're you.
While we're on the Star Wars kick, Tom went to saw Rogue One, and I believe he enjoyed it.
I've seen it. It's pretty good.
You did see it?
It is better than The Force Awakens. I know. YouTube comments. Go ahead, crucify me. Whatever. Better than The Force Awakens.
I hadn't seen The Force Awakens, so.
You're not missing much.
But my friend Brandon, he saw The Force Awakens. And
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rant. If you guys didn't know, I stopped the table and I didn't realize it was that flimsy. I'm going to rant about The Force Awakens. Can I
Okay.
rant about The Force
Sure,
Awakens?
go ahead.
I am sick and tired of this Disney thing going in there and changing the canon of all the movies.
Okay.
I mean, there were books written that were considered canon that they just walked up and they said, that's just something different. And so, I mean, you have Kylo Ren, which is Jason. Let's see, it's not Jason Solo. It was Ben Solo, is his name, right?
Yeah.
That's wrong. Ben Skywalker is supposed to be Luke's son, because Ben Kenobi was Luke's mentor.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with Han and Leia. Nothing. It was supposed to be Jason Solo was his name, and he turned to the dark side, and then they killed him. But that's a different book. Why, Disney? Why must you screw with the Star Wars universe? Did you know that the entire Star Wars EU become uncanonized?
Really?
Yes, the entire extended universe of Star Wars. Disney walked up, they bought the franchise, and they said, no. And so that means your Darth Revan doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
Some of you know what I'm talking about. You guys should just hear the expression on Logan's face. It was like somebody is sitting here trying to explain string theory, but it's even more foreign.
Yeah, because I'm completely new to Star Wars.
but the whole Darth Revan series didn't happen. The whole history of your Jedi Order and everything, none of it is canonized anymore. We don't know where anything came from anymore because it's no longer canon.
Wow. That sucks.
It really does suck, but I guess it does open up the possibility for them to go in and do a whole bunch of prequels to the original Star Wars movie. But still, why would you do that? There was a narrative. You screwed it up.
Have you seen the Clone Wars animated series?
No, and I don't care to.
Well, I know, but I'm wondering how Rogue One and the Clone Wars is going to line up, because I know they take place in roughly the same period.
Roughly the same. So Rogue One talks about the story. The story of Rogue One is where the guy who planned out the Death Star didn't really want to do it, so instead he went along because he knew that they were either going to kill him and his family and they'd finish it anyway, or he could go in and he could build in a flaw to the Death Star. By the way, spoilers! And so this story actually follows his daughter, who fights to get the plans of how to destroy the Death Star and send them to the Alliance, and it takes place just before Episode 4.
Okay.
And that's where it goes in the chronology. Everybody dies.
Gotcha.
That's the basic storyline of Rogue One. By the way, spoilers! You should probably put Star Wars spoilers on the name of this video.
Yeah, probably. But I hadn't seen Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what was going to happen in it, but I already knew that if it was about plans of the Death Star, that someone was going to build a flaw in it, because I've seen Episode 4.
Because that's the whole thing. That's, everybody was thinking, you've seen the memes maybe where the engineer of the Death Star was trying to defend the vent.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it was put there on purpose for the destruction of the Death Star, and this was one thing that I think Disney did right. Thank you, Disney, for clearing that up.
Okay.
Also, screw you for putting in Ben Solo. That doesn't exist. I don't accept it. Also, Ren has to be Luke's daughter, because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Well.
Even though she isn't. I'm bitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm bitter.
I can tell.
A little bitter.
It's going to be okay, Philip.
It's like you've licked weird earwax. That's how bitter I am.
Yeah. Ew.
Just take a minute and let that sink in.
No.
Just savor the ghost taste that you have there.
Oh.
I'm glad you don't have any more Mountain Dew.
Yeah, no, Oh, God, Philip. I gotta go, chug the water fountain now. So, do we have anything else? Worship leader, Star Wars, anything? You want to talk about?
I think we pretty much covered it.
I think we have too. Well, guys, thank you for listening. If you want to support us, go to our GoFundMe page, www.gofundme.com/project-podcast. Anything you can give us would be great. We are trying to buy our own equipment. That way we can quit borrowing equipment. Mm-hmm. We want to put out a quality podcast for you guys. And if you have any suggestions for us, any topics you want us to cover, like, comment, subscribe.
And if you ever want to see me back here again, you better, tell Logan, because
I'm probably going to kick you off.
Yeah, he is. I mean...
Yeah. Yeah. Well, stay classy, San Diego.